Hello my pottery and lapidary friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a really fun project planned. We're going to be making this Tonto polychrome jar. So let's dive right on into this, shall we? First, let's go over the tools I'm going to be using so you guys can follow along with. The tools are really simple. I'm only using a few. That's going to be this here gourd scraper. This is an invaluable tool. I'm going to put a link in the description below, so if you guys need some of these, you can order them from Andy Ward. He sells these. He's one of the only people I know that sells these. And boy, this tool, seen a lot of use. I even got a nice, beautiful patina starting to develop on this thing, just with all the use that I put on this. And the other primary tool I'm going to be using is going to be this here smoothing stone. This has seen a lot of use as well. And the final tool I'm going to be using here is this cutting tool. This rock that was chipped out. This is beautiful. It cuts clay wonderfully. That's pretty much all we're going to need for this, guys. I have one more special tool left, and that's the utility tool. It's going to be the puki. I was planning on using this puki. This is actually the perfect size for this replica, but unfortunately the clay I'm using, oh boy, it's got some crazy shrinkage rate on it, unfortunately. So I'm actually going to be using a half-size version of this puki, which is going to be this, and it's going to allow me to expand out a little bit more to build it to the size I need, because it will shrink to a real small size if I decide to just use this one. So unfortunately that's not the option in this case, but you can use anything you've got for this type of pottery. I'm going to be aiming for a replica, so I've got these that I'm going to be using right here. And finally, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I just love blueprints. So of course I drew up a set of blueprints for this project. And in case you're wondering why I decided to remake this thing once more after it finally turned out so beautifully in that firing video I did a long time ago, oh boy, it's been humid lately, and apparently some of the phyllite that I used in here contained some caliche, and I have a few little bit of pop-outs on this thing. All right, so here we go. As you can see, I got my ball of clay here. I've got a glove on. You're probably wondering, what in the world, Will, are you using a glove for when working with clay? Well, quick story. I had an angry mesquite tree take a good chunk out of me, and I just didn't want to get clay inside of that, and clay can get everywhere, so... Oh boy. And again, I've got my beautiful ball of clay right here. It's just ready to go. I'm just pressing it in, gonna make it real nice. Make sure everything's all compacted, all those air bubbles are out, and we're gonna begin to just make this into a nice ball. I am gonna try using this smaller puki. I don't know, now I'm kind of hesitant too. I feel like I got more real estate. Yikes, decision making. All right, last minute change of plans. Let's go with the bigger guy. Oh boy, yeah, let's do that. Get this all pressed in here real quick. It's pretty good. It's on the thick side. Oh man, I'm not gonna go too crazy with it. So I got a gap right there. I'm gonna put that back into place. Oh boy. So these puki lines always become a disaster too. Don't want it to be too thin where you're going to make that a vulnerable area when it dries, but thin enough. I just want to smooth the inside out a bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want it to, take your time and just enjoy the hobby and get it as smooth on the inside as you want. For jars this size, my hand is too big, so once it gets to a certain point, there's no going back. I can't fit that in there to get it smoothed out. So this is a good spot just to get it somewhat smooth. Knock out all those little imperfections that may be there. But those imperfections are part of what makes this hobby so much fun. So you're never really striving to make it perfect. It's almost impossible to do that. All right, that's looking good. Take our little cutter here. This is the shallowest spot, so this is a good spot to start cutting. As you're cutting too, you can kind of judge the thickness of your clay. Comes in pretty handy right there. Sometimes your cutting tool gets plugged up with the clay. You need to clean it off so it cuts more efficiently. Alright, I'm not used to pressing my coils from this side, but since my thumb is all messed up on the other hand, I'm gonna make do with what we got. Well, we've encountered our first problem. Look at the size of this thing, and then look at the size of the one we're trying to replicate. Wow. Now I know this clay shrinks a lot, but I don't know if it's gonna shrink enough to make it in this little shape here. So I may have gone a little bit too big. And now is a good time to decide, do I wanna start to press the clay inward to start sloping it out? Or should I take a gamble with it at this size? I'm actually gonna take a little bit of a gamble and start to press it inward and see what we get. It looks big right now, but it's gonna go down quite a bit as it begins to dry. So that's why I always like to make it a little bit bigger, but man, looking at these two guys, it's like, wow. This is like the Papa Bear and this is the Mama Bear right here. It's so different in size. But we're looking for that Goldilocks. All right, looks like we're ready to roll the next coil for this. This coil is a little bit tricky because this is where we're going to start to press upward, but it's also going inward at the same time. It's kind of hard to tell on the camera with this being so small, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers and press inward and use these two fingers to push outward. So it's push inward, push inward. It's going to start developing our neckline. Hopefully that's not blocked by my hand. And I can already tell by looking at my one right here, the opening is already way too small. When it shrinks, it's going to be even smaller, so I'm way off course here, so I'm going to start to press it outward. And the gourd scraper just really helps to push this opening wider. As you can see, it's a lot better. I can even fit my hand in it now. But it won't be like that for long, unfortunately, but it's definitely a good opening we got here now. Actually made quite a lot of progress with that one coil. I think we're only going to need one more. Well, I think this is looking pretty good right now. We're right on target with our model right here. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm gonna let this sit for a little while, firm up, and we'll add hopefully what'll be the last coil for this project. Well, this is gonna be one really happy little jar if it turns out. Oh man, I'm really liking this guy. Oh. So I'm gonna let this firm up for about 3 to 4 hours. I'll come back and finish up the rim, and then we'll go ahead and start smoothing it out and getting it prepped up for that first slip layer. So I've got my jar all packed up. It's time to head out and fire this thing up in the desert. Wow guys, is this beautiful or what? Just check this jar out. Oh my goodness, these organic paint blacks don't get much blacker than this. And I got most of the carbon burnt out, which is a super bonus. The whites aren't too bad. Oh. And listen to that beautiful ding. Oh, that is the sound of success right there, guys. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Wow. I learned quite a bit from this firing. There's actually a few issues with it, mainly with my fire clouds on the bottom. I had a bunch of coals starting to drop down onto it. I must say this thing was a complete success. Wow. Let's hope I don't have any more caliche problems with it though, right? So I really hope you enjoyed the making of this Tonto polychrome jar. If you did, please be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button and helping this channel grow. All right guys, I really hope you enjoyed the making of this here Tonto polychrome jar. I hope to see you in the next episode. Till next time, my friends.